Hello and welcome to Salty About Health. My name is Dalaney Algier, and I'm here with my mom and co-host, Mary. So, Mom, why are we salty about health?
Good question. It's because both of us have had struggles, some more serious than others, and no one showed us simple ways we could jump into the driver's seat and take control.
And why are we sharing our views with our listeners?
Well, because we want our listeners to realize that it may take time, but with some simple knowledge about health, they'll be able to make a few changes and dig deeper to take control of their well-being and live a more vibrant life.
That's fantastic. But right now, before we get into all of that, we just need to do some housekeeping. Here we go. This is an opinion-based podcast. This is not in any way offered as a diagnosis or treatment for any disease, illness, or infirmity for physical or mental condition or any other condition you may have. We are not doctors or practitioners of any kind. Persons needing medical care should obtain it from a medical practitioner. So, consult your practitioner before making any health decision. The opinions offered here in this podcast are ours alone. Again, we're not doctors, and the banter you're going to be listening to is our view and our view alone. Okay, that's done. We, of course, also want to have an open dialogue with our listeners. So stay tuned to the end of the episode, and we'll let you know all of the ways that we can connect. Welcome, everybody. We are glad to have you back for episode 18. Today, Mom and I are going to talk about leaky gut. You may have heard of this, as the term leaky gut is becoming very mainstream. So, Mom, define what leaky gut is for our listeners.
Okay, leaky gut syndrome is really a nickname for the more formal term increased intestinal permeability, which underlies an enormous variety of illnesses and symptoms. According to the author, Elizabeth Lipsky, PhD, in her book Digestion Connection, The Simple Natural Plan to Combat Diabetes, Heart Disease, Osteoporosis, Arthritis, Acid Reflux, and more, it's not a disease or an illness itself. It's a symptom of inflammation and imbalance that has many causes. Lipsky states that the small intestines have a paradoxical function. They allow only properly digested fats, proteins, and starches to pass through so they can be assimilated, while providing a barrier to keep out bacterial products, foreign substances, and large undigested molecules. The digestive tract normally has tight junctions and does not permit large molecules to pass through. When the area is irritated and inflamed, these junctions loosen up, allowing larger molecules such as disease-causing bacteria, fungi, toxic molecules, and undigested food particles to pass through. These substances are seen by our immune system as foreign, stimulating an antibody reaction. The cytokines alert our lymphocytes, which are our white blood cells, to battle the particles. Oxidants are produced in the battle, causing irritation and inflammation far from the digestive tract.
Okay, so you're saying it far from the digestive tract, but you just described how everything's happening there. So what do you mean by that?
Yes, and this is why leaky gut syndrome has been associated with the following medical problems: allergies, celiac disease, Crohn's disease, malabsorption syndromes, food sensitivities, autoimmune diseases, and environmental sensitivities. So what we're saying is what goes on in the digestive system, it inflames the body, and then depending on what the cytokines do, they can attack different parts of the body.
That's pretty crazy. But I guess there is a lot of it seems to be food related. I mean, not the autoimmune or the Crohn's, though. Can food kind of set off Crohn's, right?
Oh, it can be responsible for autoimmune diseases also.
Okay. So yeah. I mean, that relates because that's where you're getting your food digested. So if it's not digesting properly, that's not good.
Yeah, what it's saying is that it's setting off inflammation in other parts of your body. So that's why you get all these weird symptoms, and a lot of people don't bring it back to food when it's the actual food that is causing the initial problem. I remember we had a patient once in the office, and I might have said this before, but his mother came in and, wanted to sign him up, and he was already 50 years old. But all these years, all these years, she could never just sit down and have a normal conversation with him when he came to visit. And because he would like wheeze and have breathing issues and just all these problems. And of course, as a mom, she was very worried about him. And it turns out the only thing he did differently, which stopped all that, was he took dairy out of his diet, and all that went away. And she called back. I remember saying that she was just so happy that they'd gone out for Mother's Day, and he just sat there and could have a normal conversation with her without having all those issues.
Yeah, no, that's a big deal. So, okay, you mentioned dairy, but why don't we go over some of the causes of leaky gut for the listeners?
Okay, that's a good idea. Let's discuss some of the underlying causes. Number one would be poor food choices, especially a diet that includes allergens and inflammatory foods such as unsprouted grains and nuts, added sugar, GMOs, refined oils, synthetic food additives, and conventional dairy products. It seems low fiber diets cause an increase in transit time, allowing toxic byproducts of digestion to concentrate and irritate the gut mucosa. Though it is important to note that even foods we normally think of as healthful, such as milk, wheat, and eggs, can be irritating to the gut lining.
Okay. And also, chronic stress is a big one. Prolonged stress changes our immune system's ability to respond quickly, and it affects our ability to heal. Our bodies react to stressors by producing less of secretory IgA. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. One of the first lines of immune defense, and less DHEA, which is an anti-aging, anti-stress adrenal hormone. And by slowing down digestion and peristalsis, reducing blood flow to digestive organs and producing toxic metabolites. So, finding ways to mitigate stress in your life is very important, like meditation, deep breathing, humor, etc. And I think we even had a whole episode on stress and how it affects you. It just affects every single part of your body. It's not
Yes,
fun.
I think they call that like the number one killer now. And now with everybody having to deal with changing their lives for during the pandemic, it's really important to find some stress relieving.
Yes. So I'm sure all of us are getting that chronic stress. So we really need to work on. I know my husband has gotten really into the deep breathing and he really likes it.
Oh, very good. I love deep breathing.
Yep.
I do that every night before I go to bed, and it makes me sleep like a baby.
That's fantastic.
I guess, because sometimes I guess babies don't sleep. You never slept for.
Yeah, why is that a saying?
I don't know. But when we brought you back from the hospital, you were normal, and then all of a sudden
It was normal.
you almost spit out your drink. Then you went through like a month where we'd lay you down and you would just like shake and scream. And so, I think we just took turns and went in there and slept on the floor next to your crib for like a month, and then you just got over it. I have no idea what was wrong with you.
That's weird. I vote it was the Monsters Inc. guys trying to get my screams.
Actually looking back on it now, I know exactly what it was, but I think I would offend people if I told people. We had this person in the neighborhood who had a Harley, and they would creep past the buildings, and as soon as they got to that stop sign, which was right near where we lived, we were like right on the corner, he would open it up and take off, and you would just jolt because you're just a tiny baby, and it would just rock the house. And I think that was probably an issue.
Okay. I don't think that would offend people. It's a loud, scary noise for a baby that just came out of the womb. And what is this big world? Why is there noises? Yeah.
Yes, and I think people should be more conscientious. I don't know what's going on. And now, I used to think you don't know if somebody's sick in there or anything. And when you make that much noise, and maybe they just finally got to sleep or got rest they needed or was about to, and you just open that wide up.
Now you make me feel bad, and I don't even own a motorcycle. Like, oh my gosh, I have to tiptoe around my neighbors now.
Well, no, you don't have a car where you have an exhaust where you gun it either, do you?
No, my car is a 4-cylinder. It is not capable of said gunning. I think it would be like a
I think, that's fine if you do that, except maybe you should keep it between the hours of 9 and, I don't know, 10, but at 4 or 5 in the morning when we were on a military post. So going to PT, I don't think.
Oh, okay. I was like, where are they going at 4 a.m.? But yeah, okay.
It was loud. Let's just say that. And you used to just, you poor little thing.
Poor me. No, I'm over it now. Obviously, I don't remember any of this. So.
Well, I don't know. Maybe that is trauma. We can do
it is trauma.
Hypnosis going back.
Oh my gosh. I am a late sleeper now. So who knows? Maybe that could be.
Are you?
Yes.
We were just together in October.
Let's talk about that off air, because you also won't admit that you snored on the last night.
No, that was Lauren.
No, she snored both nights. I did the thing. She is very easy because I was like, Lauren, you're snoring. And she's like, okay. And she just rolled over. You, on the other hand.
Oh, yes. I don't think I think you were listening to yourself. We should move on.
Whoa. That is false. Anyways, tell me about these other terrible things that happen because of your gut.
Okay, so toxin overload include high drug and alcohol consumption. We come into contact with over 80,000 chemicals and toxins every single year. But the worst offenders for causing leaky gut includes antibiotics, pesticides, tap water, aspirin, and NSAIDs, which are non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, which include common over-the-counter medications such as aspirin, naproxen, and ibuprofen. It's recommended to buy a high-quality water filter to eliminate chlorine and fluoride, and look to natural plant-based herbs to reduce inflammation in the body. Boswellia, which is actually frankincense, known as frankincense also, and ginger are easy to find.
And for cramps, what is it? Midol is dumb and doesn't work. Sorry, Midol. But for menstrual cramps, cramp bark, which I don't know the actual name of the tree. I hope the poor tree is not just called the cramp tree. But cramp bark is very helpful and works like ibuprofen, because I know that's like ibuprofen's normally my go-to for when I have cramps. Yeah, when I did take it, it was like 1, and I know people who will pop like 5 or 6. So
yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
So you use cramp bark now, which is an herb?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's a good tip for everybody out there. Remember, right? You have cramps, you're looking for cramp bark.
Yeah, exactly.
I think yours is a tincture, right?
It is. Yeah. So you mix it in water. It's kind of bitter. It's not terrible. And the nice thing is I read the label, which I know a lot of people do, but you can actually like preemptively start taking it too. So if you know exactly the day that your period starts, you can take it a day or 2 before, and it actually like helps ease you into it even. So according to the label, I have yet to do that because I've been like, oh, today's the day I'm starting my period. And so it's like too late to do that. But
it helps when you do take it.
It does. Yes, it helps. But I'd be interested to see if it's like even more effective if I take it before it starts. So
You'll have to let us know.
Yeah.
Maybe we could do an episode on natural ways to get through your period.
A women's episode. What is there like a Women's Month? You know how they have like every month is like there's like Breast Cancer Awareness Month is October. Mm-hmm. We should see if there's like a Women's Month, and we should.
Oh, I think there probably is.
Do that. It might have already passed. Oops. We'll try next year. Okay, so bacterial imbalance is another thing from leaky gut. It's also called dysbiosis. Dysbiosis. You can still tell I was not a biology major, which means an imbalance between beneficial and harmful species of bacteria in your gut. A large body of evidence now shows that gut microbiota is important in supporting the epithelial barrier. Yeah, I got that one. Your gut lining, which I could have just said gut lining. Thanks, Mom. And preventing autoimmune reactions. She's like still laughing, guys. Candida and parasites also disrupt the gut lining.
Yes, our favorite friends, the parasites.
Oh yeah, we got an episode about them too.
I think that was our first episode. That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Mom got to talk about poo.
That's right. Everybody looking at their bowel movement. Okay, another one is lectins, any of a class of proteins, chiefly of plant origin, which bind specifically to certain sugars and so cause agglutination. Remember, we talked about that during our blood type series or episode of particular cell types. They are found primarily in beans and legumes, certain vegetables, especially nightshades such as tomatoes, potatoes, eggplant. So there'd be peppers and hot peppers also.
Basically all of the fruit and vegetables we talked about in previous episodes that you have to do like a bajillion things to make them edible.
Safe, yes. Certain nuts and seeds, including cashews, peanuts are extremely high in lectins, pumpkin and sunflower seeds, grain-fed and farm-raised animal proteins because of what they are fed, the animals, what they feed the animals, and A1 dairy products.
What does A1 mean?
Yeah, that's the type of protein that's in the milk. And about 2 years ago, it got really popular to get A2 milk products and dairy products. And they have now, if you go to a health food store, they'll have, this is A1 milk and A2. And A2, I'm pretty sure, goats produce A2. They have the A2 protein in there. And also it was the cows in Southern Europe do the A2, and they say that's easier on your gut. For those people who are sensitive to dairy, that might be a better route. So A2 dairy is pretty easy to get a hold of nowadays, especially the milk. And it's in the carton. It just says A2 or A1 on it. Big letters.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I didn't know that. Now that we've gone through the bad news, what can we tell our listeners to do to help their leaky guts heal if they think that may be an issue that they are having?
That's a great idea. We don't want to leave our listeners hanging. I got this information I'm about to talk about from Dr. Axe's website, and he had some great articles on leaky gut, and we've included those links in the show notes, as with the book we mentioned earlier. And he suggests removing certain foods and factors that damage the gut. We just discussed those, what we should remove.
So he suggested replacing gut damaging foods with gut healing foods. So here are some ideas of foods that support healing because they're easy to digest and they can help repair the lining of the intestines. Bone broth, which is delicious. And I'd like to point out that you can buy it in single serve little things now, which is pretty cool. It contains collagen and the amino acid proline and glycine, and those can help heal your damaged cell walls. So yay. Raw cultured dairy, and at least at my supermarket, grocery store, whatever, they actually on the cheeses, like in the cheese section, they actually have little things in the corners of the nameplates that tell you if it's raw or pasteurized, which is pretty cool. Raw dairy contains both probiotics and short chain fatty acids that can help heal the gut. Pastured kefir, yogurt, and amasi, which is a thick fermented milk beverage, which is traditional in South Africa. Butter and raw cheese are some of the best probiotic foods.
Yeah.
We went on a kefir kick for a bit. Do you remember that? Or I did. I don't know. It was pretty tasty.
Oh, I do like it, but I don't know. Lactose and I don't get along all that well, but
Yeah.
I do eat cheese. I just take the lactose pills, but also I have high histamine. I have
Okay.
mast cell disorder, so
Yeah.
anything fermented is hard for me. I can only do a little bit of it. And I
Okay.
don't mean to, I want to kind of go back to what you said earlier about the amino acids, proline and glycine.
Okay.
I just want to mention that glycine, I buy it in not pill form. It's just, what am I trying to say here? It's just loose in the container. And you can use it like sugar. If you just, you can just take the glycine and it tastes just like sugar.
Oh, you had me do that.
I have it in powder form, and it tastes so good. You can just put it in anything you're trying to sweeten, kind of thing. And glycine, I think, is like the most abundant amino acid in your body, and it's great for collagen, formation. It's things like that.
AKA good for the skin, everyone.
Yes.
Looking good.
So, for those of you, I'm again not a doctor, but the glycine in powder form, if you're trying to get away from sugar, you can just see if that helps maybe in your coffee or something like that.
Cool. But to continue, Mom did mention she can't really do fermented vegetables, but if you can, those are great and contain organic acids that balance your intestinal pH and probiotics to support the gut. So sauerkraut, kimchi, kvass, which is kimchi is the bomb. Also, kimchi is not just the spicy cabbage variety. That is actually a winter kimchi, and there are summer kimchis as well. So if you are not into spicy, there are sweet versions. Anyways, we could go out. That could be like a whole nother episode. Mom and I could just tell you about every single kimchi ever and how great it is.
Well, that and just fermenting vegetables, it's very easy and it's very good for your gut.
Yeah. But this kvass, which I don't think I've ever had, but it's a fermented drink, low in alcohol, and it's made from rye flour or bread with malt. So all of those, are excellent sources. Also coconut products, which also coconut oil is good for your hair. Fun fact. But they're especially good for your gut, and the medium chain fatty acids in coconut are easier to digest than other fats, so they work well for leaky gut. Also, coconut kefir contains probiotics that support your digestive system. And if you want movie theater popcorn, I think I've already talked about this, so I'm just going to hammer it in. Movie theater flavored popcorn at home, use coconut oil instead of butter, and then salt if you can do whatever, if you can do that.
Oh, guess what?
but wait, the finishing touch, I'm giving everyone my secret ingredient, rosemary. Try it. It's great. I usually honestly don't really season my meat with it all the time. Not my favorite, but it is amazing on popcorn. Okay, what were you saying?
I love rosemary. Oh, I love it. I used to have little rosemary plants all over my house. I just bought awesome salt from on Amazon, and it is a licorice salt.
Ew.
It actually tastes like a little bit of licorice. You don't like it?
I don't like licorice.
Oh, I thought you did. Oh, it is so amazing. It is so amazing.
Okay, yeah, I'm so happy for you.
Love licorice. Oh. You're no fun. You don't like mushrooms either.
I think compared to everything I do like, I'm doing pretty good.
That's true.
Okay, but also there are.
But you know where it comes from?
Mushrooms?
No, the licorice salt. Iceland.
Oh,
Like
that they
Iceland?
have that licorice vodka too. They're just all about the licorice up there.
Yeah.
Why?
So I don't know. And it just says it's salt, and I don't see any flavoring added to it. So I thought that was pretty
Weird.
cool.
That is pretty cool. Iceland is cool.
Yes.
Yes, their food
It was
was
expensive.
is expensive, but we went to like their version of the Piggly Wiggly. What was it?
The pig.
The pig. I think it was just called the Pig. Great supermarket.
It was. It was.
Anyways, okay. You can also eat sprouted seeds such as chia seeds, flax seeds, and hemp seeds that have been sprouted. That's important. And are a great source of fiber that can help support the growth of beneficial bacteria. But if you have severe leaky gut, you may need to start out getting your fiber from steamed vegetables and fruit. But I think I've mixed them into like homemade smoothies. I've made like green smoothies with like kale and whatever. You could put kefir and kale and like stuff like that, and then put some like flaxseed in there. So see how that goes. I
Sounds
don't know.
delicious.
Try it. Also, healthy fats. So consuming healthy fats in moderation, such as egg yolks, avocados, and ghee and coconut oil, are easy on the gut and promote healing. And I think I had like inadvertently stopped eating a lot of healthy fats, and then I had some coconut oil popcorn, and it just like it wasn't like an energy thing. It was just like an extra like aha. Like I felt so good after. Like I just everything in sync. I don't know why.
It helps your brain.
It does,
Fat
yeah. So
is
like
great
I
for your
had that
brain.
for a snack, and then I think I went back to work, and I was just like, I am on right now. So yeah, that was fun. Also, omega-3 fats, anti-inflammatory foods like grass-fed beef, lamb, and wild caught fish such as salmon benefit a damaged gut. And finally, fruit. So, consuming 1 to 2 servings of fruit daily is good for a leaky gut diet. You can steam some apples and pears to make homemade applesauce or fruit sauce. And fruit is best consumed in the morning and not later in the day. And always keep it in moderation. I think we talk about like everything in moderation, right? And I've done it with cashew butter. There's no
Mm.
sugar added. It's probably not. I know it's not. I don't know if they like treated the nuts properly, but I've done fruit with that on it.
Yeah, just make sure when you read the back of the cashew butter, it doesn't have added sugar.
Yeah, no, it didn't. No. Which,
Yep.
and if anyone is curious, because I know if you still want to eat peanut butter without the added sugar, it is very dry, but actually cashew butter is just naturally sweeter. So like it doesn't need, in my opinion, it doesn't need the added sugar because it's very sweet compared to other nuts.
Yes, I think the one I can't handle is, I think, sunflowers. No, sesame seed
Ooh,
butter.
there's sesame
But
butter.
that, or is it sunflower seed? One of the two. Ugh, I don't like that much.
Okay.
But they sell a lot of it at the store, so a lot of people do like it.
Yep.
Okay, so then there are certain supplements that help the gut, and they support your digestive health as well as protect the gut lining from further damage. Probiotics, 50 to 100 billion units daily. This is an important supplement to take because it helps replenish good bacteria and crowds out bad bacteria. You can get probiotics in both food and supplement form. This will help you re-inoculate the gut with beneficial bacteria that will keep bad bacteria at bay. And then you have digestive enzymes. They can be helpful. Taking 1 to 2 capsules at the beginning of each meal ensures that foods are fully digested, decreasing the chance that partially digested food particles and proteins are damaging your gut wall. Protease breaks down proteins, amylase breaks down starches, lipase breaks down fats, and lactase breaks down lactose and dairy. Then you have L-glutamine. Glutamine powder is an essential amino acid supplement that is anti-inflammatory and necessary for the growth and repair of your intestinal lining. L-glutamine benefits include acting as a protector, coating your cell walls, and acting as a repellent to irritants. That being said, L-glutamine is very controversial to take it by itself.
Okay.
So you should look into that. I was listening once, quite a few years ago, to an actor who was also a drug addict at one time, and he became a health nut and was on a podcast. And he was saying that L-glutamine helped his cravings, and he took an enormous amount in a day whenever he had cravings. And I know a lot of times when people have cravings for alcohol or drugs or sugar, a lot of times it can be just, it can be the dysbiosis in your gut, it can be candida, it can be parasites, and it can be lack of minerals. If you get everything in a balance, that's always good. But just if you're going to take L-glutamine, make sure you just read up about it, because I will take it like once or twice a year. I'll buy some and take it. So just do your due diligence, do your research.
Be your own health detective.
Yes, exactly. Okay, licorice root, which I love, and that's Delaney's favorite too.
I do, which is okay. So to clarify, licorice candy, gross. Licorice root, vitamin thing, for some reason, tasty. I don't know why.
Maybe you're not getting real licorice candy. I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea.
But I buy it in the tincture, and if I muscle test for it, I put it in water and I drink it. It's great for hormone balance, and it's great for your gut. And they will say that licorice root can also help you with ulcers and actually heal those. But it's an adaptogenic herb that helps balance cortisol levels and improves acid production in the stomach. Licorice root supports the body's natural processes for maintaining the mucosal lining of the stomach and duodenum. This herb is especially beneficial if someone's leaky gut is being caused by emotional stress, because of the way it can help improve the way you produce and metabolize cortisol. It is important to note that licorice can raise blood pressure. So if this is an issue for you, look into getting deglycerized licorice. It is free of glycyrrhizin, which is usually they call it DGL, and you can find that in a health food store. And so that doesn't have that enzyme in it. And licorice does raise blood pressure. So if you do have high blood pressure or you're on blood pressure medicine stuff, you do not want to just get the regular licorice. You want to get the DGL. And who knows, if you're on the border, you might want to monitor your blood pressure. But, nowadays when people, they go, well, I eat a lot of black licorice, and it doesn't bother me. Well, a lot of it is fake nowadays, and it's not real licorice that you're eating. But if you were to actually eat real licorice, yes, you should watch your blood pressure.
Okay, so Twizzlers don't count. Sorry, everyone.
Exactly. I'd say eat as many of those as you want, but that's a bad idea too.
Plastic. It just tastes like plastic. It smells like plastic too. I'm sorry if someone loves it, but
yeah. And the next one, Delaney, I should have you try to pronounce that.
I know it looks like a bad word. I don't know. Shilajit.
It's shilajit, and I used to take it a lot. It's a tar-like medicinal herb used frequently in Ayurvedic medicine.
Tar?
Shilajit can protect you from stomach ulcers, as well as reduce inflammation triggered or exacerbated by leaky gut.
What? Ew, why is it tar-like?
It's like, what they say is they get it off these rocks. Ancient rocks, and it's just ooze coming out of it, and they scrape it up and put it in filters.
Aren't all rocks ancient? What are you talking about?
But anyway, people should look it up. It is spelled Shilajit, and you can get that anywhere also. Marshmallow root The antioxidant and antihistamine properties of marshmallow root make it a great addition to any natural medicine cabinet, particularly for those struggling with leaky gut. I do like marshmallow root. You can get marshmallow root tea also.
Oh, that's cool. It just makes me think of marshmallows, and then I want to like make s'mores.
Okay, collagen powder. The secret behind the power of bone broth is collagen, and the main supportive proteins that give bone, cartilage, and tendons their strength. Once cooked, it becomes gelatin. Supplementing with collagen or gelatin can help boost your gastric juices and aid in restoring the integrity and health of your mucosal lining. Collagen also contains the amino acid proline and glycine, which are essential building blocks to repairing damaged intestinal lining. Drinking 8 to 16 ounces of bone broth daily or taking 2 tablespoons of collagen protein twice daily can be a good option. Your grandmother was just visiting and I turned her on to collagen.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like the bone broth, again, they sell it now in individual sizes, so you don't have to buy the big, huge carton that then tells you to use it in a day. And if you don't use it for soup, it's very difficult to finish that. But it's tasty. Like if you're not in the mood to have like some tea or I guess coffee, like I'm thinking of like warm drinks, it's just fun to like have it in a mug and like drink it and be all warm and happy.
It is good. I used to make it. I put it in a crock pot and I would either get the chicken carcass or the beef bones. And I always kept it in there for 48 hours and you just keep it on high and you can put herbs in there. A lot of people put in like a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to draw the minerals out of the bone. And the bones still kind of look the same after 48 hours. But you take them out and you can just wad them up in a little ball, and the dog loved them.
Ew.
Really cool.
Oh my gosh.
And so what I did was I would then put them in glass containers, not all the way full, let them cool, and I would freeze them. And so when I made chili or anything like that needed a base, I would just use the bone broth. But like you said, now you can just go to the store and buy it. So the next one would be NAG, which is short for N-acetylglucosamine, has gained recent popularity in mainstream medicine because it has become widely accepted that it can help protect the lining of your stomach and intestines. Because of its anti-inflammatory effects, NAG has also been reported to help with osteoarthritis and inflammatory bowel disease, including ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. And yeah, because I think we all know somebody with Crohn's.
I do, yes. I have a friend who has it.
Yeah. And last but not least is Dalaney's favorite, reishi mushrooms. Is an adaptogenic. Reishi mushrooms can help to positively influence your immune system, most of which is located in your gut. Not only does reishi help to kill dangerous cells that cause diseases like cancer, they can also protect healthy genes from becoming mutated. Your immune system also benefits from reishi because of the way these mushrooms support the liver's efforts in detoxifications. So Dalaney, when we do an episode on mushrooms and have your friend on, are you part of the episode?
I will ask him. He'd probably be down for that. Oh my gosh.
But I don't know if you can handle 30 minutes of talking about mushrooms.
Oh my gosh. Well, see, that's good. I'll be like quieter than usual. And
we'll just have your husband because he loves mushrooms.
He does. Yes, he does.
Have him on.
He loves to eat any. I just think it's cool that Kurt can confidently walk into the forest and be like, yes, this one is not poisonous. I'm going to eat that. It blows my mind.
Trust also.
Right?
Yes, because if you make a mistake on that, you're not going to be coming out of that forest.
Exactly.
So, okay, there you have it. And Dalaney, what was your biggest takeaway from this episode?
I think it's just exciting to hear that there are so many things that can heal your gut, like so many healing foods. Because I think if you are dealing with leaky gut, you're just like, oh, here's all these things that are hurting me and I have to take out of my diet and woe is I. So it's cool to hear that there's actually some delicious things that help.
I totally agree.
Yeah. Well, thanks everyone for listening. And again, we want to hear from you guys. We always want to hear from you guys. Please, please, please reach out to us. And here are just a few ways that you can do that. You can reach out via Instagram and Facebook. Find us at Salty About Health, even Snapchat at Salty Health. You can email us at saltyabouthealth@gmail.com. Or if you just want to find all that in one place, check out our website, saltyabouthealth.com. We've got all the ways for you to listen and connect there. And finally, if you like what you hear today, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. We really appreciate it. So, Mom, if they want to hear from you on social media, where can they find you?
Okay, I am a certified health coach and I do coach one-on-one. So if you're interested, you can contact me at mary@feedyourselfhealthy.com. I also do research for people who are interested in finding alternative approaches to do in conjunction with the health issue or illness their doctor is treating them for. So again, just reach out to me at mary@feedyourselfhealthy.com or follow me on Twitter at feedyourselfhealthy, which is spelled FEEDURSELFHLTHY. That's where they can find me.
Cool. Okay. And if you guys want to find me, I'm not a health coach, but I'm on Instagram hanging out there at Dalaney.a. Find out how to spell my name in the show notes and everything. And of course, I'll be the one mainly keeping an eye on the social media. So always happy to chat with you guys via the Salty Network. Also, just want to shout out our intro and outro music. It is by Yule, and you can find her at www.yulearts.com. That's EULARTS. You can also find her on Instagram at Yule_arts or Spotify and YouTube. Check her out. Her piano music and everything else is amazing. And until next time, stay salty.
Stay salty.